Last night, Australia decided to re-elect the dingbat weasel Anthony Albanese over the likes of the Voldemort Peter Dutton. And, well, ladies and gentlemen, I think the charts or the results that I'll show you in just a moment will actually dictate how overwhelmingly they did not like Peter Dutton. Now, I personally have said a number of times I didn't like either candidate. I really do believe that Australia is screwed either way you look at it. It just seems like if you had chosen Peter Dutton to lead the country, then it would have prolonged, I guess, Australia falling into the black hole that it's so rapidly descending into at the moment. But now, ladies and gentlemen, Australia is going to be rapidly descending into that black hole even further because, well, the Australians thought that the devil we do know is actually better than the devil that we don't know, and I completely get it. The reason why Peter Dutton lost, although the mainstream media will say that it's because of the anti-Trump rhetoric in Australia, they're rejecting Trump. That's why they chose to vote against Peter Dutton. It wasn't that at all. Trump had nothing to do with our election, so get it out of your stinking heads, for goodness sake. Not everything is about Trump. The ones that think and try and make everything about Trump are delusional dingbats. I'm just pointing that out to each and every one of you. Yes, there was a party named Trumpeter Patriots. I get that. It's Clive Palmer. No one really voted for them dingbats anyway, but they were just there, okay? They were there to disrupt at least a little bit. They were more just like the funny party. They spent millions of dollars all for what? Not really much, if anything at all, if you ask me. But nevertheless, Labor overwhelmingly swept the Liberal Party. And this is an actual embarrassment, okay? Anyway, Labor got 84 seats, man. That is a lot. Whereas the Liberal Party only got 33. Labor picked up 13 seats and the Liberal Party lost 11. And my favorite part of this is Australia actually overwhelmingly rejected the Greens. They lost the majority of their seats. They got rid of bloody Faruqi in New South Wales. Well done, Australia. Honestly, why did the Greens Party even exist? It's like we need to get rid of the Greens Party. They should not even be around at all. Although I did see that around 1.7 million people voted for the Greens Party. That is rather concerning to me. Probably a number of these young, naive, really just succumbing to lots of what the leftist media are saying or TikTok reels, you name it. But honestly, I think the main reason why Peter Dutton lost quite considerably is because the man didn't really stand for much at all. He had no real conviction, ladies and gentlemen. As much as it pains me to say this, I do not like the weasel Albanese at all. I'm sick and tired of him. But when it comes down to sticking to your guns, I can say that Albanese really did stick to his guns this entire campaign. He didn't have to flip-flop around. He just wouldn't answer questions, and he lied through the skin of his teeth, which we know that every single bloody politician does that. It's literally their job. It's like the job description that you get to become an Australian politician is, number one, lie. Are you a good liar? Check. Yes, you can definitely lead this country into the black hole that it's quickly descending into. Fantastic. That is Albanese in a nutshell for you. Albanese is probably the most wokest prime minister that we've ever got, and it's quite concerning to me. But anyway, always change his mind, his opinion on things, and the mainstream media would go after him. He would change at the drop of a hat. It was not good to see at all. I, as much as many other Australians, love to see people with conviction. Doesn't matter if the conviction is horrible. We just want to see that you've got conviction. Dutton had no conviction. He wasn't relatable. No one could relate to Peter Dutton. He looked like Voldemort, for goodness sake. I know that's not his fault, but he looked evil. He looked shifty. He didn't look trustworthy. I know Albanese is a bloody spineless weasel, and he doesn't look honest at all, but the guy, to some degree, became a little bit more relatable to the working class and majority of people, albeit he would cower and hide behind his security when you had people, actual voters, that would come up to him and talk about, why are you causing the cost of living crisis, the renters crisis, the food crisis. Either way, Coles and Woolies are still going to be celebrating whoever wins because they're going to be making absolute bank. Doesn't matter. So the food crisis that we've got at the moment that actually hits every single one of our pockets, right, when we go and buy things from the shops, it's like Coles and Woolies don't care because they're the ones receiving a vast majority of the profits. There's no monopoly, really. You can't really have a lot of choice, unlike other countries. It's just really absurd. But here we go for some of the charts, right? So Australian election, seats won. Projection so far of 70% of the vote counted, 151 seat lower house. Albanese got 85. Peter Dutton got 36. And honestly, the Liberal Party needs to go and do some real thinking about who they're going to elect to lead. Now, this is after, and I love this chart. I really do. Even though it's like Labor, it means that I'm not seeing any Greens. Seats in the House of Representatives after the election, 70.8% of the votes counted, which is the majority of the votes. Greens, 0 seats. Coalition, 36. Independents and others, 10. That's considerably better because I don't want any Greens there. Looks like the Independents took out, but they also lost a few seats. This is before the election. This is what the House of Representatives look like. You had 77 for Labor, 53 for the Coalition. Greens, 4. The Greens lost all 4 people. Independents and others, 13. Centre Alliance, 1. Qatar Australian Party, 1. So it looks like none of them are back, except you got the Independents. So it's a very interesting looking House of Representatives, if you ask me. But it just, I think this is reflective of how the Australian people are feeling at the moment. And again, it's almost like they're trusting the devil they do know at the moment, trying to give Albanese another chance. His policies, albeit I don't really like them, I can say you're going to end up paying for it, ladies and gentlemen. So well done. You got swindled by a charlatan. No, free Medicare, ladies and gentlemen. You can go to the doctor's office and not have to pay a cent. Until tax time, just wait. The Medicare levy is going to be through the roof. I guarantee you that. You're not going to get anything back come tax time, and the poor business owner, like myself, is going to be hit the hardest. So Albanese's government doesn't care less about the individual that works his backside off for small business, right? Now, percentages of the first preference votes per party, the Greens, 12.2%. Others, the Independents and all the other parties, 13.4%. I love to see it. The Greens go down. Adam Brandt looks like he's going to lose his seat. Could it be that he loses his seat? I hope that he does. I hope that he loses his position. And then also you have One Nation, Pauline Hanson. It's good to see that that's climbing 6.1%. And Trumpeter Patriots, 1.9%. Not much at all. So as much as we're sick and tired of the corrupt politicians, here is a video for you all of Albanese not being able to answer a question. But I don't think the public really cared less about it either. Have a watch.
You do have a personal property in Sydney. Has your electricity bill gone up or down?
I obviously live a life of privilege serving in the lodge.
Simple question, though. Your private property, though, Prime Minister, has it gone up or down your electricity bill?
Well, I don't have a private property. What I do is have...
So you don't have a residence anywhere in Australia apart from the lodge?
Yes, I do, but I don't engage in any pretense that I don't live a life of privilege.
But what does that mean, Prime Minister? My question to you is, does your electricity bill at your private residence gone up or down? It's a very simple question.
Well, I live in the lodge. That's where I live.
So you're not prepared to tell us what your private property, your electricity bill, whether it's gone up or down?
That's where I live.
I reckon if we were to have a competition, competition between all the politicians around the world to see who is the best at not answering questions. Simple questions, man. Simple as questions. I reckon Albanese would be in the running to win. He is very, very good at not answering questions. I give him that. Mark Levy asked him a very simple question on 2GB Sydney before the election, and he couldn't answer the question. Oh, I live a very privileged life in the lodge, and yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that. Pretty much, you're a dingbat, mate. Honestly, how hard is it for you to actually answer a question? But if you were to admit that the housing prices or the electricity bills have gone up because of you, oh dear, that would make me look bad. So can't do that. So guess what? I'm going to just do a circular definition and bullshit my way to making this interview stop. And I don't care if he presses me. Oh boy. So here is another journalist asking Albanese once again, here are some of the things that you lied about. And are you going to fix them? Probably not. But anyway, you're back in power. So, yeah, have a watch.
Before the last election, you said power bills would reduce. They didn't. You said you wouldn't alter the tax cuts. You did. You said you wouldn't change super. You're trying. You said we'd have cheaper mortgages. We don't. You said on election night you'd commit to the Uluru Statement in full. You haven't. And you said when you messed up you would admit fault. Now you say Peter Dutton is seeking to Americanise the health system. He's promising to match your bulk billing funding. Some of your ads basically say he's going to abolish Medicare. You say his nuclear plan will be funded by cuts. Your renewable subsidies and rewiring the nation aren't paid for by cuts. My question is, why do you have to exaggerate in this campaign? Why can't you win this election by telling the truth?
About your hat.
Great question. Why can't you win this campaign by telling the truth? Well, guess what? He didn't win the campaign by telling the truth. People just thought that Peter Dutton wasn't convicted enough. His policies sucked, except the one I liked about nuclear power. Except at this present point in time, it's probably not the right time because we've got the nuclear deal with America at the moment with the submarines. Amazing how we can get nuclear submarines, which we don't really need, but we can't get nuclear reactors. Yeah, let's spend billions of dollars on that, but not actually helping our citizens out with their power bills and Australians first, right? No, can't do that at all. And also, ladies and gentlemen, telling the truth for Albanese would be extremely difficult. Now, I am actually trying my very best here to be kind to my newly elected or re-elected Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese. But, ladies and gentlemen, I've seen too much. I know a little bit too much about this to know that I know where exactly this is going. And it doesn't look like it is going to go anywhere good. Even if Albanese can deliver on any of the promises, he's got a long way to go. And I don't foresee it, Australia getting out of the black hole that it's in. And also, Keir Starmer recently made a post saying that Australia and the UK are closer now than ever before. Albanese let in so many immigrants. He continues to let in so many immigrants. So you think that the cost of living, housing, you name it, is high enough? Just wait, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to increase. I guarantee you that under Albanese. But I get it. I understand why people voted for Albanese again. I get it. Because the Liberal Party has got no idea. And they've got to really reevaluate their loss and pick somebody next time that has some conviction, for goodness sake. Stick by your guns, man. Who cares about what the mainstream media says? Just stick to it. Go for it. Say things how you see them. Be like Pauline Hanson, for goodness sake. Oh, boy. Anyway, those are my thoughts on the matter, but you guys take care. Be blessed, and I'll see you all in the next video.